Call of Duty 2. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Call of Duty 2 refines the cinematic intensity and chaos of battle as seen through the eyes of ordinary soldiers fighting together in epic World War II conflicts. The sequel to 2003's Call of Duty, winner of over 80 Game of the Year awards, Call of Duty 2 offers more immense, more intense, more realistic battles than ever before, thanks to the stunning visuals of the new COD 2 engine. Yes guys, it's another retro review. I did Medal of Honor Allied Assault, so it's only fair that I do its biggest rival, which was the Call of Duty franchise. Call of Duty 2 to be specific, because this is kind of classed as the best ever Call of Duty game. I'd agree with that. I think the best Call of Duty games is this. I think the first one, I think World at War is a good one, and Modern Warfare 2, and I think that's pretty much it. And this one is one of my favourites because this is set in the best time for these FPS shooters, and that is World War II. So what are you getting here? It's still on sale, it still works, it's $14.99. I got mine 50% off. I think it's still 50% off on Humble Bundle. So it's going for like, what, £7.50 or something. And I've played it through. It's not a very long game, it only lasts about 5 hours. But it is such a blast to play. It is such a buzz actually playing this game through. I'm not going to talk about multiplayer, by the way, because multiplayer is pretty dead in this game now. So, you know, if you're going to buy this, you're buying it for the single player. I've always kind of bought Call of Duty for single player anyway, because I've never really liked the whole way Call of Duty does multiplayer. Although I do remember having fun in this one. There was 64 player servers, no classes to select. Everybody was pretty much the same, if I remember rightly. Or did I dream that? So let's get straight in and let's see. I'm not going to compare this to Medal of Honor much. I'm going to try not to, because I prefer Medal of Honor Allied Assault to this. But both games are great, and it's okay to like them both. It really, really is. You don't have to take sides. You know, they're both brilliant games. Way better than a lot of the games that come out today, to be honest. So, Call of Duty has a campaign split into individual stories, if you like. They are the Russian campaign, the British campaign, and the American campaign, totaling 27 missions. And the best thing about this Call of Duty game is it doesn't have any stupid contrived stories. It's just, this is the Battle of Stalingrad, this is the defense of Moscow, this is the second Battle of El Alamein, this is in Tunisia, this is part of Operation Overlord. You know what I mean? It's like in the last one, the Americans crossing the Rhine into Germany. You know, if you know anything about World War II, you kind of know where you are in this game, and that is what made this game so good. And it's one of the things that's made a lot of the latest Call of Duty so bad. They have these horrible contrived stories, and it doesn't do anything for the game really. So this game starts off in Russia, and you play this cadet, this trainee Russian soldier, and it is so atmospheric, running around Stalingrad and Moscow fighting the Germans. You feel like you're fighting for survival. You're crawling through pipes, crawling underground, you're liberating important buildings, you're clearing the towns room by room, just as it was, just how it was in 1941, 1942, and in 1943. The fighting is brutal. There's snipers, there's a lot of heavy machine guns, there's tanks, there's snow and snow and snow, and grenades. Let's not forget grenades. The Germans love their grenades. Pretty much too much. It got a bit kind of old. You just get grenades thrown at you all the freaking time. There's an endless supply of grenades. The gunplay is really nice. It's really good, especially in the Stalingrad campaign. It felt really nice. There's a good bit of recoil on the weapons. It feels good. The sounds aren't brilliant of the guns, I didn't think. With Call of Duty, you can only carry 2 guns, which is good. You've got like your sidearm or a rifle and your machine gun. And you can drop a gun and pick a new gun up. You have to find the right ammo for your gun, whereas in Medal of Honor, any SMG ammo fitted any SMG, whereas in this game, German SMG ammo will only fit the German SMG. You can't go around with, say, the Tommy gun and just keep getting SMG ammo from theirs and putting it in your gun. That doesn't work, whereas it does in Medal of Honor. I like that in Call of Duty. That's a plus for Call of Duty, because that brings in a bit more real and a bit more authentic. I actually ran out of when I was playing the British campaign, I ran out of bullets for my Tommy gun. I had to throw it away. And I don't know why the British were using Tommy guns. Surely they would have used Sten guns. But anyway, I ran out of bullets and I had to switch to a German gun. So it's really kind of authentic in that way. I also, while I've mentioned the grenades, I do like the way the grenades are in this. It's the same as Medal of Honor. You can kook the grenade, and yeah, I know everybody's going to go kook, you know, but yeah, you can kook the grenade. You also have smoke grenades, which is bound to a totally separate key. The controls are more evolved in this than in Medal of Honor. But obviously it came out 3 years later, so it's had 3 years extra time for coding to get better computers, to get more powerful. So it's bound to look better, feel better. It also runs natively in 1080p without any issues whatsoever. In fact, I'll show you the options now for the graphics and things. Not many sound options, but there's a few bits and bobs you can turn up or down. Easy key binding as well. Runs like a dream. Never had any problems whatsoever with it. So the gunplay is good. In Stalingrad and in Moscow, it's really atmospheric. Then it moves on to the desert where you join the British, and it's really good. With you're controlling Sergeant John Davis, led by Captain Price, and it's all good banter. It's all good stuff. Again, it's a lot of house-to-house fighting. But in the British campaign, you go to El Alamein and you get in a tank, and there's a lot of tank warfare against German panzers. You have to shoot them in the back because of the armour or the side, but not to engage them head on. You've got to take out a lot of infantry and a lot of bunkers and things like that. So there's lots of different stages to each mission, and it's all done very, very well, all excellently presented, and not a cutscene to be had pretty much anywhere until you get to D-Day. And that was the big downer for me, because D-Day is essentially a giant cutscene. You're coming in on D-Day and you're not actually part of the main attack on Omaha Beach. You're going in to actually rappel up the side of the cliff to take out the guns for the main assault. So it's not technically D-Day, even though it is D-Day. You're in the landing crafts, the front goes down, you charge out, and then a bomb goes off near you, and then it's just a giant cutscene from then on, it's just basically Saving Private Ryan again. It's nowhere near as good as the Medal of Honor D-Day, which is a shame. It could have been a lot better, and because this was made after the Medal of Honor one, you'd have thought that they'd tried to better that one, but they just obviously couldn't be asked. But once you get off the beach and you're clearing out bunkers and stuff, it's all good fun. The American campaign is great fun, and that's the one that ends up ending the game as you cross over into Germany. Now, it's only 5 hours or so, the actual game. It's very, very easy unless you're playing it on veteran. I mean, you will die a lot because of grenades, but what you can tell, I can tell straight away playing this, is you can see how Call of Duty is so bad now. You can see the little things creeping in to the game, even back in 2005, which is when this was released. You've got the regenerating health, which I absolutely hate. That was one of the big pluses of Medal of Honor and the original Call of Duty, because the original Call of Duty did not have regenerating health, but they brought it in this one, and I don't like that. It's just unrealistic. I want to have to get a first aid kit, you know, but luckily everything else is alright. And I think this was the first Call of Duty that aimed down sights. I think the first Call of Duty was from the hip, like Medal of Honor, and this one aims down sights, which is really nice. It's very slick, it's very quick, it's fine. Everything else is totally controlled by the player, which is fabulous. You've got your crouch, you can lie down, you can go prone. I mean, guys, when you play this game, it's hard to believe that when you play a modern FPS game, just how bad they are and how dumbed down and how hand-holdy they are. In this game, you have full control of your body. You can lean left, you can lean right, you can crouch, you can lay prone, you can drop a gun, you can pick up a gun. You do everything for your person, and it's absolutely brilliant. And that's how it should be. If you want to crouch behind a box, you go behind a box and crouch. If you can still see your head above the box and you're still taking damage, lay down on the floor. That's how it would be IRL. I don't understand why we have even cover shooters. I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I was going to review that game the other day, Bulletstorm, but I chose not to do it because it doesn't even have a jump key. It's a first person shooter that doesn't even have a jump key. What the hell? What the hell? What? You can't even jump an inch. No, You're glued to the freaking floor, guys. No jump at all. It's ridiculous. I mean, here we are, Call of Duty, running around, leaping over walls, crouching, diving behind cover. The amount of times I had to hit the dirt because there was so much suppressing fire coming in from the Germans. And I'm crawling around trying to get a grenade, throwing a grenade out there. It's just... I don't get why people defend the garbage that's out there today. How can you play a game where it does everything for you? Do you not feel sort of inadequate playing these games where you just press one button and it bloody well does everything, or press a button and it'll run over there and crouch you behind that box because you're so much of a moron that you can't do it yourself? There's no fun in that. And do you know what? The Call of Duty developers, Infinity Ward, they need to look back at this game and just see when games were good. You know, this has everything to make a brilliant game, and it is a brilliant game. And it's a travesty, absolute travesty, that the gaming industry was built on these foundations of the likes of Medal of Honor, Allied Assault, and Call of Duty 1 and 2. And it's so gone down the toilet since then. I mean, these are two great pillars. The same with Quake. All for that. I'm talking about first-person shooters here, not gaming overall. But we had everything with these three games, and you would have thought that they would have just built on these pillars and made absolutely kick-ass games now in 2017. And when you look at the tripe that was shoveled now, and all the frickin' yes men saying, oh yes, it's brilliant, 10 out of 10, 9.9, 9.9. I particularly love the way you can see through the f***ing walls as the enemies come running around the corner. Oh yes, I do, I love that. Playing this game gets you mad when you look at the state of gaming today. It really does. If you've never played Call of Duty 2, go and get it, because it's an education, if nothing else, as to how games should have been made. It is constant, it is frantic, and you'll enjoy it. It's an intense 5-hour campaign that will have you leaping and all over the place for cover, throwing grenades, shooting so many bullets that you're just going through them in the hundreds. I've never shot so many bullets in a game as I have in this. It's just absolutely frantic, furious and brilliant. And this is the gaming that I remember. This is the gaming that I was brought up on, and this is why I'm such a harsh critic of the tripe that we are served today. And this is why I'll continue to be a harsh critic of the tripe that was served today. Love me or loathe me, I ain't changing, because this is what I was brought up on, and this is the standard that modern games have to beat, and they're just not beating them. They're just not. So there you go, guys. Call of Duty. If you can get it on half price, do it, because you know it's $14.99. It should be cheaper than this because the multiplayer's long dead. But it's a 5-hour campaign. If you want to see a pretty good game here, go and get it.